Today we are going to discuss about the BJT amplifier problems. The problem from fixed biasing and voltage divider biasing bypassed circuit. Okay, so this is a given fixed bias circuit, right? So this is a common emitter configuration because emitter is grounded, your input is base and collector is connected in the output terminal. And this is a AC analysis we are going to do. This is a AC amplifier based problem. Okay, so before going to the problem, first we will do the derivation part. Continuation to this, we will do the problems, numericals. Okay, so first step, what you need to do is you need to change the circuit to the AC analysis, right? This is a small signal analysis circuit I want to change. What is the first step you want to do? First step, I want to remove the all DC sources. I want to remove all the DC source. It should be removed, right? That's the first step you should follow. What is the second step? All capacitors to be short circuited. Okay, short circuited. Third step, you want to replace this transistor to the RE model. Okay, so these are the three steps you have to do for the all circuits. Okay, very simple, just follow my words, you'll be getting very easy. See, first let me remove this DC. Okay, I have removed the DC. Then what happened? This resistor will connect to the ground, right? So you can see the resistor was connected to the ground. That's it. Now when I remove this DC, this RC also will come to the ground, right? You can see RC also connected to the ground. This input coupling capacitor, output coupling capacitor will become short circuited. That's it. See, work completed. Now your transistor have to be replaced by model. Okay, that I am going to teach you now. Already we discussed in the last lecture. So very simple, what you want to do is in between beta, that is in between base and emitter, you have a resistance beta times of RE. This is approximately they written. Exactly we can write like a 1 plus beta times of RE. Both are, you can write in any manner. Okay, so here it was written approximately. Okay, here the IC current, you know, that was beta times of IB is an independent current source. Why it was dependent current source? The I, because of this IB, the IC current is dependent on input base current. So that's why it's a dependent current source. Always this arrow will look towards the emitter terminal that is connected to the ground. Okay, these are the shortcut hints for drawing the model simply. Okay, so beta RE, that is between a base and emitter, and collector and emitter, the current dependent current source is beta times of IB. So R naught, it is a resistant in the output terminal, right? So here R naught is included in the problem. If the R naught is given, you can consider. If not given, you need not to consider. Okay, so here other things are, here I am going to find what is the input impedance, what is the output impedance. See, let me clarify you what are the things we are going to find. First I am going to find input impedance, next output impedance, is it not, and third I am going to find what is the voltage gain. So the three things I am going to focus now. Very simple. See, first, base, emitter, collector, this three terminals determine internal elements, that is a internal, this here. Okay, internally it was connected. Okay, there is a mathematical model. Okay, this all are external elements, this all are external elements, we can see. So whatever it is shaded, this is a model for transistor. You can see here also it is shaded, here also it is shaded. That means this transistor was replaced by this mathematical modeling. So this is a base current, this is a base current, and II, why it was written II? Because of the input voltage you are getting this II. Okay, RB, so base, that is a base resistance. ZI, when you are finding input impedance, you have to look from the left side. When you are finding the output impedance, you have to look from the right side. Okay, so this is the output voltage, this is the input voltage. Okay, let me go for ZI calculation. Very simple. So when you finding the ZI, as I said, you have to look from the left side. When you look from the left side, what happened? This RB and beta RE will become parallel. I'm correct or not? This element and this element connected in parallel. So RB parallel to beta RE. That's it. Now consider for a major situation, most of the circuit, your RB value will be greater than the 10 times of your beta RE. If it is this condition is satisfied, I can neglect this RB and approximately I can write like beta times of RE. That is ZI is approximately equal to beta RE. Okay, so this is the first calculation. The next calculation, that is a derivation, the output impedance. When you are calculating the output impedance, you have to look from the right side. So you can see this R naught and RC. This is the internal resistance and this is your RC is externally you are connected. So RC and R naught both are parallel. Here also we can make some approximation, that is when R naught, small r naught is greater than or equal to 10 RC, I can go for approximation model. In the approximation model, what you will do, you will be removing your R naught and you will be writing only RC. Okay, so RC you can put for the approximation model and RC parallel to R naught you can put for the exact model. What is the purpose of approximation? So only for you can reduce the time for calculation time. So when you're doing for a more number of transistor, the time is very important to reduce your analysis, right? So both are approximately value will be same. When you go for the exact, the some time will be somewhat more compared to approximation. Even from approximation, you can get the you can justify your your exact value. So that is the reason why we can go for approximation model, right? So now let me go for like a voltage gain derivation part. See, v naught is your output voltage, that is your current into your resistance. Here what is the current, output current? IC. What is the output resistance, overall output resistance? Impedance, that is the impedance what you will be getting, RC parallel to R naught. That's all. Here this whole term is a current term. You know, in current term you can see you can see here. This is a current, right? So why it was given minus? Because the current which is coming here and current which is going to load. Consider you have a load here, suppose. So both the current will be opposite. Okay, that is the reason why the current was given minus. Okay, you can see here. So you can see here minus beta IB RC parallel to R naught. See, consider you have some RL. Okay, here you have a IL. Here you have a IC. Okay, if you consider like both are opposite. So in that condition, you can put a minus. Okay, then VA. What is a VA actually? VA is a IB into beta RE. That is a resistance value and this is your IB current. So if you want to calculate IB, you know IB equal to VIB beta RE. So IB you can substitute here and it can be written as minus beta VI by beta RE into RC parallel to R naught. That's it. Now we want to find what is your voltage gain. So you want to bring VI down. That is the ratio of output voltage by input voltage. So minus RC parallel to R naught divided by RE. Now again we can come with some approximation formulas. When R naught is greater than or equal to 10 RC, R naught can be ignored and it can written as minus RC divided by RE, small re. So this is your derivation part. For more understanding, let me explain one problem which is relevant to that fixed bias small signal analysis. In this problem, what they are actually asking, we want to find what is the emitter resistance RE, small re, then ZI input impedance. You can see this is a very important, or not you can consider as infinity, and Z naught you can consider as an infinity while calculating, and AV some book it will be written like a capital A and subscript V. Both are same. Both are same. Okay, you can take for our understanding. R not infinite. Next to E, what they are asking, repeat calculation C and D considering R not 50 kilo ohm. And finally, they are asking what is your obtained AC output voltage. Okay, so let me, this is the input which you given here, and we are getting the output. You can see the input and output are phase shifted by 180 degree. In common emitter configuration, the signal will phase shift. That is, when you compare your output with the input, you have a phase shift of 180 degree. Basically, why this happen? Because of drop across this RC will be large. So you know, so like when you apply the KVL here, when you apply the KVL here, so when you apply the KVL, you will be getting VCC minus ICRC. So this will be constant, right? This will be constant, and this will be changing based on the resistance. Okay, so this will may go higher value. When it go higher value compared to this value, your value will be in negative. Okay, so that is the reason why we are getting in the negative voltage in terms of negative. This is only for your knowledge. Okay, let me go for solving this problem. So first we will find RE. Okay, so given values you can see here everything is given. So the input voltage here it is given 20 millivolt. Okay, this will be useful for finding your that F calculation, that is the output value voltage. First we will find what is the RE. To find RE, what is the formula we have derived? 26 millivolt, that is Vt, divided by your IE. You want to find this both values, then only you can find RE. First, I want to find IB. How you will find IB? We want to apply the KVL in the input loop. When you apply the KVL in the input loop, you will be getting this formula. That is VCC minus IBRB minus VBE. When you rewrite that equation, you will be getting IB equal to VCC minus VB by RB. Generally, if in exam or any calculation, if VB is not specified, you can take it as a 0.7. If in problem, if they specify any specific value, you can put here. Not specified, you can take it as a 0.7. So substitute here 12 minus 0.7 divided by your RB value. You will be getting 24.04 microamps. Now you want to find IE. What is the formula for IE? IE is nothing but IC plus IB. What is the IC? Beta times of IB plus IB. You take IB common, you will be getting IB into 1 plus beta. Here on is a formula, it is written. So beta plus 101 into your IB current, you will be getting 2.428 milliamps. Now I want to find what is your RE, that is 26 millivolt divided by emitter current. 26 millivolt divided by 2.428, you will be getting 10.71 ohms. You calculated. Then we will go for finding beta RE because I want to find ZI. Okay, so in problem it was clearly mentioned like a we want to find a you can see here like a input impedance with R naught infinity. Okay, that you have to consider. Okay, so ZI equal to RB parallel to beta RE. When you find beta RE, beta is given as 100 and RE you have calculated in the previous slide, that is 10.71. You will be getting 1.071 kilo ohm. Okay, now ZI. What you will get a ZI? That is RB parallel to beta RE. You will be getting 470 kilo ohm. That is given in the, we calculated in the previous. It was given in the problem actually. Parallel to 1.07 kilo ohm, we will be getting 1.07 kilo ohm. That's it. Here output impedance, it was specified R naught is infinite. So RC, it is approximation formula actually. So 3 kilo ohm. Here voltage gain minus RC divided by RE. Here also we need to consider R naught as infinity. So you will be getting minus RC by RE. RC it was given 3 kilo ohm. RE we have calculated 10.7 ohm. You will be getting minus 280.11. Output impedance R naught parallel to RC, that is 50 kilo ohm parallel to 3 kilo ohm, you will be getting 2.83 kilo ohm. That's it. Next, the next problem they're asking here, actually here from E, they what they said is you have to do the C and D like a by including R naught is 50 kilo ohm. Same parameter you included by including your output impedance we are calculating. This is like a approximation, this is like a exact calculation. So here you are getting 2.83 kilo ohm, and here AV formula is minus R naught parallel to RC divided by RE. If you put the plug in R naught value and RC, you will be getting 2.83, that is you have calculated here. Same I have substituted divided by RE value already you calculated. So minus 264.24. The F we need to calculate what is the output voltage. It was given the input was 20 millivolt. So I was written 20 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, so you know when you are calculating the voltage, you need not to take this minus. This minus specify the input and output was phase shifted by 180 degrees. So that is not required while calculating. So we'll be getting 5.28 voltage. Okay. So this is the answer for this problem. So now we will see next problem like a derivation, that is a voltage divided bias with the bypass capacitor. You will see one derivation. The first procedure, what is the first step you have to proceed? You have to remove all the DC. You have to make it as a 0 DC element. Second, you need to short circuit all capacitors. You have to short circuit all capacitors. Third step, I want to replace your transistor to the mathematical modeling. Mathematical modeling here or remodel you have taken. Okay, so very simple step. First step, I am removing this DC. While you remove the DC, this R1 will be connected to the ground. So this R1 and R2 will become parallel. So it was given as a R dash. Only for my understanding, I have given R dash to avoid confusion. So here I am just shaded part. I want to put a mathematical modeling. So you know that mathematical modeling, that is emitter, base, collector. In between base and emitter, you have a resistance of beta Re. That is emitter, that is a dynamic AC resistance we have calculated. Here the IC current, you know, it is a dependent current source, beta times of IB, and R naught. R naught is a resistance between your, like when you go for characteristics you can understand the changes of IC by VC. From the graph you can understand. In CE configuration, you don't have the flat, right? You will have some slope. That slope defines this R naught. Okay, the slope defines this R naught. The changes of VC by changes of IC. Okay, but when you go for other configuration, you have a perfect flat. So generally R naught will be infinity. But only in the CE configuration, you have some reasonable amount of resistance here. Okay, so that you can consider based on the given question. Okay, then when you, that step 1 and 2, that what you have to do, you have to remove this capacitor, that RC will be connected to the ground, the capacitor will be short circuited. So that's it. So just given all values VI, IA, ZI, We input voltage, input current, input impedance, output current, output voltage. For our understanding, it was designated, right? Right. Now we'll go for calculating input impedance, output impedance, and voltage gain. First, R dash. What is R dash? You know, R1, R2, it was connected parallel. So what you will get? R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. That's it. Now I want to calculate input impedance, right? How will calculate input impedance? You have to look from the left side. When you look from the left side, you can see this R dash will be parallel to the beta RE. So this is your input impedance, right? So I have written same here. Hope you understood. When you go for output impedance, you have to look from the right side. When you look from the right side, you can see the beta, like R naught parallel to this RC. So this will be output impedance, right? So it was given here. So for approximation analysis, I can consider when R naught is greater than or equal to 10 times of your RC, I can write it as RC. Okay, this can be written as RC. Your output voltage, how you can write, that is current into resistance. The current is beta times of IB and resistance is RC parallel to R naught. Same step what I have repeated in the fixed biasing derivation. Same step. Then you know the base current is VI by beta RE. So this was obtained by VI equal to IB into beta times of RE. Then V naught equal to, I have to substitute this IB. If you substitute minus beta VI by beta RE into RC parallel to R naught, I want to calculate voltage gain, that is AV equal to V naught by VI. It gives minus RC parallel to R naught divided by RE. So I can write approximately when R naught is greater than or equal to 10 times of RC, I can remove this small R naught and I can write like a minus RC by small RE. So this is a derivation for the voltage biasing bypassed. Same we are going to see now. So it's a problem relevant to the divider biasing. So given this is a given circuit, the supply is 22. So we want to find input impedance like a emitter resistance, and then input impedance, output impedance, voltage gain. Then you have to repeat with including R naught 50 ohms. First, first check. You want to find whether this circuit we can proceed with the approximation analysis or not. So in order to proceed, first you want to check beta RE is greater than 10 times of R2. If it is greater, you can proceed with the approximation model. If not satisfied, you should not proceed with the approximation model. That is one rule you have to follow. So beta is given as a 90 and RE is 1.5 kilo ohm. Then 10 R2 8.2 kilo ohm. So 135 kilo ohm is greater than or greater than 82 kilo ohm. So it was satisfied. So you can proceed with this problem with the approximation model, right? So using the approximation approach, we can obtain. Okay. So first VB. So how you will find a VB? That is VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So we will be calculating by using Thevenin's equivalent circuit, right? So what is a Thevenin's equivalent circuit? So you will be like a you have any complex network. You take any complex network that can be converted into the single voltage source series with the one single resistance with the load. Okay, that is a VTH. Then you have a RTH. Then your load. Any complex network can be converted into the this three element, that is a VTH, RTH, and RL. So the circuit was rearranged with the Thevenin theorem. Okay, so VTH can be written as VB. Okay, so VB can calculate by VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, so this is a basic of Thevenin's analysis. So any complex network can be replaced with a single voltage source and single RTH with the one load resistance. So while calculating the RTH, we need to consider voltage source as a short circuited. If you have a current source, you can open circuit. Okay, you want to find what is the overall resistance. Here R1 parallel to R2, so R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. This, when you're calculating the Thevenin's part, this every element, all element, this will be considered as a load. Okay, so that is a I've just given, I throw some light why this was written like a VB equal to R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into VCC by Thevenin's part. Okay, so here you can see R2 is 8.2 kilo ohm, then 22 volt, then R1 plus R2. So R1 is 56 and R2 is 8.2 kilo ohm. You'll be getting 2.81 voltage. Then you want to find a VB. So VB, you know, generally VB minus VE. So VE I can write like a VB minus VBE. So 2.81 minus 0.7, you will be getting 2.11 voltage. Exactly. Now I want to find emitter current. Then only I can find the emitter resistance, AC resistance. How you will find? IE equal to VE by RE. So 2.11 voltage divided by 1.5 kilo ohm. So you will be getting 1.41 milliamps. So now I am going to find what is the AC emitter resistance. That is a dynamic resistance. 26 millivolt divided by IE. 26 millivolt divided by 1.41 milliamps. You will be getting 18.44 ohms. That's it. Now we'll go for finding R dash. Same, R dash is nothing but R1 parallel to R2, right? So 56 kilo ohm parallel to 8.2 kilo ohm, that you'll be getting 7.1 kilo ohm. So you no need to confuse, right? So in the previous, you can see here R dash is nothing but R1 parallel to R2. From this part only we have written like a R dash is nothing but R1 parallel to R2. ZI, ZI, R dash parallel to beta times of RE. When you calculating, you can like a 7.15, it's a R dash kilo ohm, and beta RE, beta 90 and RE 18.44 ohms. So you'll be getting 1.35 kilo ohms. Okay, in the part C, what they are asking, find the output impedance considering R0 is infinite. You have to consider R0 is infinity. So R0 equal to RC there. So RC is given in the given circuit was directly given 6.8 kilo. We can write directly. Then voltage gain in the D part also they are asking like find the voltage gain when R0 is infinity. So we can find, so RC divided by RE, that is 6.8 kilo ohm. RE we have calculated in the previous part. You can see here it was a 18.44. I have substituted in this part, so we'll be getting minus 368.76. Here the next E, what they asked actually, the E part, repeat part B and D include R not equal to 50 kilo ohm, right? So Z naught equal to RC parallel to R naught. I included 50 kilo ohm and I have calculated. So you'll be getting 5.98 kilo ohm. Similarly, actually this is the exact analysis. They're also asking to find just for checking the measurable values. Okay, AV equal to minus RC divided parallel to R naught divided by RE. So here you have found RC parallel to R naught is nothing but a 5.98 kilo ohm. So divided by your emitter resistance, dynamic emitter resistance. Don't confuse with capital RE. Okay, this is external emitter connected in the circuit. This is a dynamic resistance which you obtained mathematically. So 18.44, you will be getting minus 324.3. Okay, suppose if in any input voltage was given 25 millivolt anything, we can find like a output voltage equal to AV into VA. So you will be getting some voltage. So this is a, I hope you understood. Okay, but you want to check this condition whether this circuit is fit for analyzing the approximation or not. For that only we are doing this checking part. This is like a testing part. Okay, I hope you understand this problems and derivation. We have discussed fixed biasing and voltage divider bias by past derivation and problems. Okay, thank you.